Thursday Night Football. We got a good one this week, finally. We've got a good one. Chargers, Broncos. Game is in Inglewood. Right now, the Chargers are a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 42 in this game. This will likely determine a little bit of playoff seeding. Both these teams are basically locks for the playoffs. We almost have all of our playoff spots locked in really both conferences outside of the NFC a little bit. Dylan, what are your thoughts going into this game?
You know the meme of Bugs Bunny?
Oh, yeah.
Lord forgive me, I'm back, going back to the old me or whatever. Lord forgive me, but I'm back on my bull crap. That type deal. We know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is Dylan Wilkerson, halfback dive, run it down your throat, do what you've been doing for the past 4 years. This is the easiest under I've ever seen in my lifetime. The Broncos defense has been elite the last 6 weeks. Negative 0.3 EPA per rush allowed, negative 0.123 EPA per drop back allowed. The Chargers haven't been able to get anything going on offense since J.K. Dobbins went out. Justin Herbert, he's
banged up.
He's banged up. He hasn't really been – he's been taking care of the ball for the most part, but has not been as explosive as he was like weeks 8 through 14. I mean, this is just under. Thursday Night Football, Al Michaels snooze fest. This is just textbook what it is right here. This is Dylan Wilkerson, what you've been doing the past 3 years.
It's 13-9 final written all over it.
Oh, I love it. Maybe no touchdown. I am irate. I'm irate that I missed out on the no touchdown this year. Who would have thought it would have been the 49ers Rams? Who would have thought?
Not me.
That game.
Last year it was like Colts Broncos or something like that on Thursday Night Football. There was one no touchdown game.
We're not getting back-to-back no touchdown games.
Jeff
Bezos is going to pay for a touchdown.
You think so? He sold a lot of Amazon stock.
Did he?
Yeah, he sold a lot of his stock. Does he care? Just saying. Under.
Connor, where are we going?
Yeah. So I like the under. Had that written down. I figured Dylan would go in that direction. Chargers rush offense without J.K. Dobbins. This is what their running backs have done the last 3 weeks. 32 rush yards versus Tampa Bay, 70 versus the Chiefs, 55 versus the Falcons. That's what the running back room has done for the Chargers. Herbert's looked injured this weekend. He got beat up against Tampa. Who knows if he's going to be 100% on a short week. I love the under here, and I also love the Broncos here. I don't know what are we doing giving the Chargers a -3 in this spot? Genuinely, they're one-dimensional, and that one dimension, their quarterback is now banged up. So I'm confused as to why the Chargers are -3 in this spot. That defense has looked very susceptible recently. I wrote this down as well. They just gave up 40 points and 500 yards to Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. Gave up 30 points and 400 yards to Baltimore. There's been a few showings for this Chargers defense that doesn't line up with that elite label they've been getting this year. So I think Bo Nix is going to have some success. Cortland Sutton have some success through the air here. I like the Broncos to upset them, and I do love the under. I think you're right, Dylan. Easiest under of the year.
Are the Chargers just Indiana football?
Bad schedule,
making their defense look maybe better than it is. Your one real opponent, you gave up 38 points.
And look, I trust Baker to throw the ball more than Bo Nix, but if you look at the Bucs, like Mike Evans had 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen McMillan had 75 yards and a touchdown. That Charger secondary looked very vulnerable, and I do think Bo Nix has looked better the last few weeks. He's going to take advantage of that. Yeah, I think you're right. You look to the Chargers schedule. Tells you all you need to know.
Absolutely.
I agree completely with Connor. I like the Broncos outright. I mean, this is a game that's being played in LA, which I don't think matters at all. That doesn't tip the scale for me one bit. I do think, especially when you look at these two teams, you see a Chargers team that's just regressing in every aspect. A run game that is non-existent at this point, a defense that is regressing, and a quarterback that's beat up with limited amount of weapons through the air. I do think that's the difference. I also like the under here. All things being equal, like Justin Herbert more than I like Bo Nix, but an injured Justin Herbert, I'm not sure has a major edge, especially with the other issues that he has facing him around him right now. I think this is a Broncos defense that's going to be able to really stifle the Chargers. I could see the Chargers scoring just like 10 points or something like that. And you know, if the Broncos defense does their job in being able to control this Chargers offense, which I expect they will, you're asking Bo Nix and this Broncos offense just to get a little more, just to get 13 points pretty much against a Chargers defense that has been trending in the wrong direction. I'll take that any day of the week. I think the Broncos get the win away here in LA.
Yeah.
And I think this is a Broncos team going into the playoffs that's trending in the right direction and a Chargers team that's trending in the wrong direction.
And if you're the Chargers, real quick, Dylan, they've had to go away from their identity of when the Chargers were having the most success this year. What was it? Defense, run first, and then Herbert not asked to do too much and just make a few plays here and there. They're not able to do that without J.K.
It's
Dobbins.
flipped.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm with you.
don't know
Wilkerson
about
ratings.
Go ahead.
Wilkerson ratings make this game Chargers -1. So inherently,
Some value.
I don't hate the Broncos there. I do want to say real quick, going to speak to the under, both these teams play just tragically slow. Chargers 62 plays per game, Broncos 66. I think the league average is like 70. So it's just going to be an absolutely slow game. You talked about the schedule, right? And I don't hate the Broncos side, but what I won't stand for is
Now, the Broncos' last 4 wins have been against poop teams, if you're going to go there. I completely understand.
Well, what I won't stand for is a bunch of Chargers slander, Jim Harbaugh slander. The Chargers beat the Broncos earlier this year at Mile High.
For sure. It's a different team, though. Both of these teams are different teams. I think Bo Nix has definitely come into his own. I think the Chargers are trending in the wrong direction. This is not – I love Jim Harbaugh. I love Minter. Like, I love what they have going for them right now, but this is year one still. And I do think that J.K. Dobbins going down is just tragic for them. And I'm just not sure if they have the organizational depth at this point to overcome that.
Am I the only one that watched the Broncos game yesterday?
The score
was
lies a little bit.
bad in that game.
He
The
was very
run
bad.
game was non-existent. The run game for this Broncos team is horrific. I don't know how you can trust the Broncos so much in this spot. The Chargers are going to be able, and it's going to become, Dylan, I hate to say this is a sneaky over game.
Oh my God!
Oh, no.
Spare me!
Spare you? Okay, hear
Yeah,
me
spare
out
me.
then. They're not going to be able to run. Neither team is going to be able to run the ball.
They're going to try.
This game's going to be played in the air.
I don't think either team is going to be able to complete a pass.
I disagree with that.
Dylan.
But also, Pat Surtain is questionable. We don't know if Pat Surtain's playing either. So that would be
that would add to the over.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, anti-Broncos is he might not. We don't know if he's going to play it. He's only questionable, so he still might. I don't know, but as of Tuesday, we don't know if he's playing.
And the Broncos just gave up 32 to the Browns. Let's not pretend this is some great. And also, you have the pick six and Jonathan Taylor. If Jonathan Taylor doesn't fumble on the half-yard line, we're talking about that Broncos-Colts game in a completely different light. And if A.D. Mitchell doesn't throw a pick six, what are we doing here? I lean Chargers in the over, to be honest.
Really?
Jeez,
I lean Chargers
what
in
a
the
guy.
over. Because we look at this, and Justin Herbert, if Justin Herbert's banged up or is like
Short
really
week.
injured, I just don't believe in Bo Nix.
I saw this Chargers secondary get ripped by Baker Mayfield, and yes, Baker is better than Bo Nix. I'm not going to go there, but I think Bo Nix will have some success through the air because the Chargers are one-dimensional now, and that one dimension for the Chargers is a banged-up Justin Herbert.
But the Broncos are one-dimensional. Let's not pretend this Broncos run game is elite. In their last
so
game,
bad.
Bo Nix was their leading rusher. How many yards did he have? 28
Yeah, that's fair.
against the Colts.
The Broncos, woe is me. The Broncos rushing situation is awful for anybody trying to do fantasy stuff because you never know who's getting.
It's just
the ball.
ring around the
They're all
rosy.
bad.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
so bad.
And
Whether it's
they're all
Estime
terrible
Williams.
too. It's like, and then you don't know who's getting
McLaughlin.
the end zone. Every single time the Broncos play a primetime game, I sit there and I go, I'm scrolling through the apps and I go, ooh, Audric Estime, first touchdown. And I'm like, I don't even know if he gets snaps. Jaleel McLaughlin probably gets more snaps than him. Javonte Williams might get all the snaps. So this is a game you'll probably lose money on, and I'll probably lose money on too. I don't care. Give me Chargers in the over.